Good morning. It's Susan, and I'm going to share with you today the one thing that led to me signing up over 50 people since January of 2016. And I can't believe it myself, but I'm going to tell you what that was. But before I do, I'm going to share with you a little bit about what the one thing means. So, Gary Keller wrote a book called The One Thing because he saw a movie, and you might have seen this movie 20 years ago, if you're old enough, called City Slickers, or maybe you've watched it on Netflix. And I'm going to read to you the conversation. Let me just grab this here for you because it's it's pretty profound. And to have it come out of the movie City Slickers is kind of amusing. So Curly says, and I'm going to look away while I read it. So I'm not looking at you, but I want to read this right because I'm not a good joke teller, or memorizer. So I'm going to look to the left, read this to you, and then come back to you. Do you know what the secret of life is? This. Mitch says, your finger. Curly says, one thing. Just one thing. You stick to that, and the rest don't mean shit. Mitch, but what is the one thing? Curly, that's what you have to find out. So Keller writes this book, and he's basically asking you, and I totally recommend you read it. It's very inspiring. What is your one thing? And it took me a while to figure it out, but once I learned that throwing ads up on Facebook or blasting my email list, with offers all the time wasn't my one thing, I found that utilizing social media, kind of like I'm talking to you right now, and reaching out to people that I know and getting them on the phone or getting them on a Zoom video chat or Skype. And that's my one thing. I probably meet five new people a week or have conversations with people I kind of know or don't know well, or people I really know well, but building relationships over and over and over again. And that has built trust in my community of other coaches, therapists, and healers. I am seen as a resource and I can help people with a variety of marketing needs that they have. I'm also known as a connector. Like if you need something, I can probably help you find that person or at least recommend you to somebody who will help you find that person to help you. So, but how do people know what your talents are and what your resources are? Well, the only way is if you connect with them. So for me, my one thing is talking to people. I love people. I love to help people. I love to connect people. And that is my one thing. And for me to focus on that and create a system out of it was key to me making offers in real time, like on the phone, enrolling new clients, inviting people to work with me, to be JV partners, whatever the relationship that I was looking for. Sometimes it worked out and sometimes it didn't, and that's fine. You're not going to convert everyone. I don't know anybody that people will say they convert at 60, 70%. I'm not sure they do. I know that if you can get really good at identifying who your ideal client is, and then of course your rate of increase will go up and up and up and up and up. But I want you to think about what your one thing is and distraction and how that kind of can get in the way. And I'll also share with you how I thought I was doing my one thing and I really wasn't doing my one thing. I was doing three things. So those of you who know me from before know that I was a psychotherapist, and then I moved into parent coaching, and I did that quite a long time. And then after that, I even became a health coach. And for up until about 2 years ago, I was running three businesses. I was running a health coach business, I was running my parenting business, and I was also starting to do some business coaching for Christian Michelson. And so I was wearing three hats, and I tried. I really, really, really tried. I tried to have one day that I did my clients, one day that I did my health coaching, one day that I work with parents, and it didn't work for me. And so it might be like 9 o'clock, I had a client, parenting client. 10 o'clock, I was doing business coaching. 11 o'clock, I was helping somebody with weight loss. And I could help people in the moment, clients in the moment, but I could never expand either any of those businesses. They just really stayed pretty much the same. Or if I put a lot of attention for a month into, say, health coaching, then that revenue would go up, but then everything else would go down. So I could never go past a certain amount of money that I was making. I was really stuck at that place. So I did a lot of soul searching, and I'm going to tell you, it was painful. I had built many, many, many years being a parenting coach. I have a list of 10,000 parents who look for my emails. They're interested in hearing what I have to say. They perhaps want to hire me sometimes when they're needing that. And I felt like letting go of that would be letting them down, or saying that maybe I was a failure because I couldn't make that business, really soar the way I wanted. But the real truth is that I had been working with families for almost 40 years, and it really was time for me to move on and do something that I considered more fun. And if you had asked me this 10, 15 years ago, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm having such a great time working with the parents, because that's where I was at and that's what I wanted to do. And then when I found the health coaching, I loved that as well. And it was very inspiring to be able to help people get healthy. And I did work in that very intensely for 3 years. But when I looked at the whole picture way back in December of this year, you think in December, you're thinking about like what's going to be different this year. I knew I had to let go of some things. I knew I had to focus on one thing. And I had to pick it, and I had to trust. Hey, Jill. Hey, Catherine. I knew I had to pick the one thing. And I was scared. I mean, honestly, I really was, because I thought if I put all my eggs in one basket, I could lose it all. But the truth was, it was the opposite. Since January, I have signed up 50 clients. I signed up 20 people into my laser coaching program, 25 people into my mastermind group. I have signed up, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 individual clients. So if you add all that up, it's 50 people. And the only reason it happened is because I focused on building relationships around the theme of helping. Sorry, we lost the power for a second again. Coaches, therapists, and healers. I did the one thing. So when you figure out what your one thing is, you're going to be able to also excel. And I want to just underline again, the one thing should be simple. Simple, 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 simple. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. In fact, if you're investing a ton of money into marketing and branding and websites and SEO and all that stuff, unless you're like you've got a list of about 180,000 to 200,000 people, you're probably not going to become a millionaire, okay? What you really want to do is start out at the grassroots level and pretend in a way like the internet doesn't exist. Pretend that there's just, 7 billion people in the world, which there are. You don't have to pretend that, it's true. And some of those people need you. And if you're only looking for 10 clients, 10 out of 7 billion people, that's not very many people. So what's the one thing that you can do that's simple and easy and repeatable? Okay, and also something you can teach other people, because once you learn that could be a program. Yeah, it could be a program. So you have the ability to really rock this, and I really believe in you. And I believe that if me, a psychotherapist who used to be a social worker, who knew nothing about marketing, who knew nothing about building an online business, who knew nothing about getting clients like that. I mean, when I was a therapist, I didn't have to market myself. It just happened. So this is not rocket science. This is finding the one thing that you can do systematically to invite people to get on the phone so that you can get to know them, and you can see, and they can see, if your program is a fit. That's it. Simple, simple, simple. I'd love to hear your questions. I've got a couple people here. Thanks, Jill, for the compliment about my hair. I just had it cut yesterday and it still looks okay. I'm going off to California on Sunday for 8 days in San Diego to go to my mastermind to learn more that I can bring back to you. Then I'm going to Instant Miracle Experience, a big event that Christian Michelson does out in San Diego. And after that, I'm going to be teaching a mastermind to one of the masterminds in Christian's organization called Top Coach. And looking forward to seeing all my friends and all my people that I'm going to meet, new people to meet in person, which is going to be super fun since a lot of what we're doing these days is like this, through the camera. Super excited to be going. Love to answer your questions about maybe what's your one thing. And I know it's early, but I've got a full day of coaching and I've got to get out of here in a little while to get to an appointment. But I wanted to say hello to you and wish you well before I left on my trip. Maybe I'll do some Facebook Live for you while I'm out in San Diego and you can get a glimpse of the room of some of the people that I'm meeting and I'll introduce them to you. Hey, Cynthia, nice to see you. So Jill says, when you have so many things that you can focus on, how do you pick the one big thing? It's not the one big thing. It's the one thing. So if you want to attract clients, figure out a system that attracts clients that works. And the best way to do that is when I look at the 5 last clients I signed up, where did they come from? Start tracking where people came from. Who was it? A referral? Was it somebody that referred that person to you? Go back to that person. Hey, thank you for that referral. Like, do you know anybody else? If you're getting them for referral, that's great. I know a lot of coaches, a lot of healers get a lot of referral business because I've worked with a lot of them, and I know that somebody helps somebody clear something or unblock something or get better physically. And they're like, oh my gosh, like I had this problem and I went and saw this person and now I'm better. Like who would not want to go see that person if you weren't feeling well? So, or somebody will look at a website and say, who built your website? It's beautiful. And then we give that referral. Or who's your business coach? Who's helping you build 6 figures and now you're going on a vacation? You weren't able to do that last year. So look at the list of everyone you ever signed up. Go back and soul search. Go back to your emails from 5 years ago, if you've been doing this a long time, or 10 years, or last year, and see where those people came from. That's your gold, okay? Because you successfully already signed them up. Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't keep adding more marketing strategies. It's not worth it. Believe me, it's not worth the money. It's not worth your time. It's find the one thing that works for you and then do that. You can have, like, I realize that so I'm a business coach and I have a lot of responsibilities under that. I work for somebody else on their team, but the framework of what I'm offering is the same. So that makes it really easy in my mind. I don't have to switch hats anymore. I'm always talking about building businesses. I'm always helping people get out of the weeds and make things more simplified in their business. I'm always talking about client attraction. I'm always talking about enrollment. Always talking about creating groups, starting group coaching. It's the fastest and easiest way to create cash flow. I'm always talking about masterminds because I love my mastermind that I created. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, send me a message and I'll share the details with you. But that's my one thing. My one thing is helping you guys, the people in this group that have decided to come and hang out here. And what I found is the more connections I make and the closer that we get, the more time we hang out, the more you're going to want to hang out with me. And that's my one thing. And I've got email coming through my phone while I'm talking to you. Okay, let's see if I can get rid of that. So trying to figure out how long I've been talking. I cannot tell by this video. Let me see if I can rewind here a little bit. And Cynthia, Susan, super job. I have to run moving my son, but wanted to say a quick hello. Hey, Cynthia, thanks for coming and hanging out with us this morning. I love doing these Facebook Lives. It's super fun. I think I did one on Monday, and now it's Friday. And I want to wish you guys an amazing, amazing day. And again, I cannot figure out how long I've been talking here, but it feels like it's the right place to stop. So, unless there's any more questions, I hope you have a fantastic day today and sign up lots of clients, find your one thing, make your list. Where did my last clients come from? How did I attract them? That might be your one thing. Talk to you later.